What's up, guys? Welcome back for day 28 of the 28 days of Black American History Month, y'all. We made it, the last day of Black American History Month. I'm tripping because whenever I first did this, like, we started off rocky, child. We started off rocky, and like I told you guys, you know, I've been planning on doing this for the past, like, 4 years, 3 or 4 years, and things just always got in the way, and, you know, I was, you know, just hell-bent on finally sort of just embarking on this journey and just doing it, and I didn't know exactly what was going to come. Like I said, every day was something new, every day was something. I was just sort of going with the flow of it all, and discovering a lot of things that I didn't know prior to doing these videos, you know, doing research and just sort of honoring my ancestors, our ancestors, and I'm just super grateful for what we've been able to do, and just super grateful for those of you who've been able to, you know, tune in and who've shared and who've reached out and just were appreciative of the things that I was sharing and you know, the love that was circulating throughout this whole process. I'm grateful for you guys. I realized during this whole thing that, you know, poetry, which I love poetry, as I'm sure those of you who've been following can see from the readings that I was doing, I realized that I was sharing other people's work and I wasn't necessarily sharing my own. And again, like I said before, like a part of this was me, you know, ultimately getting to a point to where I was overcoming myself, overcoming perfectionism, to be quite honest, and allowing myself to share, allowing myself to be vulnerable, allowing myself, this whole thing, this going live thing, I don't go live, like, you know, I'm just a super private person. I'm not on social media like that. And I mean, that was also a part of this entire journey, just me sort of overcoming that and allowing myself to just open up a little more and share some of the things I knew and allow myself to just be vulnerable in the things that I didn't know, and allowing failure to exist in this space and allow it to be what it ultimately was going to be. And just me last night just thinking about the readings and about the stuff. I ended up actually stumbling on this. And what this is, I did this back in college. And I was 18 or 19 years old, probably around 18, 19, when I did it. There's a poem in here that I want to read. It's a book of poems. I did a poetry course at my school, which I'd always written and did things. But, you know, during that course, I was in a course, so I had to write often. And some really good stuff came out of it. It was actually during that time I was first published. So, you know, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, you know, it's Black History Month. I've been sharing a lot of other people's work. I should share my own. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, you know, this is a part of my Black history. This is a part of my Black American history. It was the first time I was published in the school. The school had a art magazine, which for the school, it was pretty competitive to get published in the in that particular paper, or like magazine. It was super competitive. Like, you had to submit your work and the whole thing, and like, I feel like I'd submitted once and didn't get in. I can't recall what I submitted, but I feel like either the first or the second time I got in. I can't recall which time that I submitted that I didn't get it, but I eventually was published. And I was thinking back to it, I'm like, yo, like, my stuff, you know, it was obviously a school zine, but like, that was an accomplishment. That's a part of my, as a writer, as an artist, as in, you know, that is a part of my Black American history. So I was like, you know what? Something old, something new. I wanna give this to you guys. I wanna share. So I'm going to read it. And what this whole situation, obviously it's pretty old at this point. Originally, like, I had this whole concept of the elements and nature. I gotten things throughout nature. You can kind of still see some like leaves and stuff, but I had like flowers. I had like all sorts of like little different stuff here on the front. A lot of it was symbolic. This at the time looked a lot better than it does now, but it was symbolic to the water. I had a whole color system. I haven't even really looked through it. I kind of just wanted to give it to you guys, but like I had an entire little like color system here. I included some photography, which wasn't my own, but I included it. All sorts of like just beautiful pieces to accompany all of the poetry that I'd had. I'll find another one for you guys that I had inside. Like I said, it was just an entire color system. Super beautiful. I'll read I did like an intro to the scrapbook of poems. So I'll read the intro and then I'll read the poem that I intended to share with you guys. And this is me at 18, 19 years old, so please keep that in mind. I haven't read this since I was in college. So yeah. My inspiration for my scrapbook came from my love of art, specifically drawing and painting. I have drawn and painted since I was a little boy, and in my poems, I tend to use lots of imagery, mostly from nature and the elements. So because my poems tend to have large amounts of imagery, and one of my passions, along with writing, is painting, I chose to merge the two and use color, nature, and the elements as my theme for the scrapbook. Listed inside are various symbolic meanings for each of the colors I have chosen to use to represent each poem. I used images from nature that happened to be primarily the color of the color I thought best matched each poem. I also put a lot of thought into which pictures I wanted to use. My goal was to find pictures that not only fit the color choice, but also seemed to fit the poem. With that said, I feel I succeeded. I hope you enjoy. Thank you, Dr. Fuller, for an amazing semester and helping me on my journey to become a better artist. You are truly a gift. Gregory Kennedy. Aww. And Dr. Fuller was obviously my professor at the time. And this, now that I think of it, you know, we had to put together, obviously, the chapbook for like our final assignment. Let's see. Okay, so I guess I'll show you the first picture, given that I'll be reading from, I guess, this theme, which I guess is white. It's, you know, it's a beautiful picture. White represents reverence, purity, birth, simplicity, cleanliness, peace, humility, precision, innocence, youth, winter, snow, goods, sterility, marriage in Western cultures, death in Eastern cultures, cold, clinical. So that's white. The symbolism behind white. So the poem that was published was called "What is Simplicity?" I think when it was finally published, I think I just named it Simplicity. So this is Simplicity. Everything so fast, observation, slowing down, mind wiped clean of the here and now clearly visible as river waters in springtime, that life is simple. That's Simplicity. I'll just read through it again. I haven't read it, like I said, I haven't read it since college, but, you know, I'll give it time. Simplicity. Everything so fast. Observation, slowing down, mind wiped clean of the here and now clearly visible as rivers water in springtime, that life is simple. And I remember writing that poem I remember being at the seating area just outside of the library, which was, there was a main street, but it was often not a lot of traffic there. And it overlooked the campus, which often, you know, or at least at that day, it's just very calm, super peaceful. And that was my happy place. I think I'll read you guys one more, and it's coming from, I guess, Orange. Yeah, Orange. This is a guy like diving off of a cliff. Orange, I said, represented energy, balance, enthusiasm, warmth, vibrance, expansive, flamboyant, demanding of attention. This poem was called Sea of the Unknown. This young boy goes to the highest cliff he knows. He jumps as he flies, wind hitting his face. His doubts, his misfortunes, and the like fly behind him as he dives into the deep blue depths. He takes one last deep breath, the deepest he's ever taken, hoping this time would be different, that this was completely new, that he could do this. He dives deeper and deeper and deeper, discovering creatures he's never come upon before. Life's so different from what he's known. But as he sinks, his doubts and his misfortunes end up diving after him and engulfing him. Deep breath is knocked from his chest. He is swallowed by the world. New creatures watch him with a smile, but as he is hit, a revelation. These creatures aren't so new after all. They're the same creatures, in the same sea he's dived before. The only difference was the height of the cliff. Come on, Lil Greg. My family and friends, they call me Lil Greg. My dad was Big Greg. Wow, I haven't read that in almost, it's been over a decade at this point. So yeah, guys, I wanted to share. I'm so grateful for you guys. Like I said, those of you who've been tuning in and those of you who'll see this after. It's been a journey, man. I've learned so much. I've learned so much, and not even just from the information that I've shared, but like about myself and like my fears, the things that have been holding me back, you know. And like I mentioned before, just like I just wanted to just open myself up and allow myself to be used and allow myself to just be open, to be an open vessel, and to, like I said, all of this information and all of these things have come super sporadically and spontaneously, and you know, ultimately I wanted to celebrate and give back to my people, obviously, and I finally was able to do that, and I'm happy that I was doing that. I'm happy that I didn't allow all the hurdles that ended up getting in the way. You know, my intention was to also, you know, complete something and share it. Just like I just shared this. Like this, you know, my work in general, I'm very cautious just about sharing, just because of the projections and, you know, people always have so much to say. And like, I honestly don't care. I never care, but I also don't give people space to feel like that. Just give people that space. But ultimately, it has gotten in the way. And, you know, I urge all of you to just share everything that you have. Do everything that is in you to do, without any inhibitions, and just free yourself. Don't let perfectionism get in the way. Perfectionism is almost worse than procrastination. There is no end to perfectionism. There is no anything that comes from putting putting that weight on your shoulders. nothing comes from it. And we all have purpose. We all were put here to do so many things. And I just urge you guys to just be free, do your thing, and welcome all that life has to offer you. We create our realities. We create our realities, and you know, what I'm really happy about during this whole process was just the fact that, you know, I'm really, and I've mentioned it, I feel like in these past videos a few times, you know, I'm really big about honoring my ancestors. This whole project, this whole series, to me feels like one big ritual. It feels like one big moment to, you know, with each video, just honoring our ancestors. They walk with us. They walk with us, you know. For any of you who feel alone, you ain't alone. You got a team, baby, behind you, supporting you. And they just want you to acknowledge them. They just want you to know that they're by your side. And that is the truth. And I could go in deeper about that. But I'll leave it at that. But, you know, honor your ancestors and honor those who've paved the path for us to be where we are today. I'm a huge history buff. I always have been. Super passionate about history and super passionate about our people. I love us. I love all of you to death. And, you know, I think it's important that we continue to pass along our history, continue to honor those who came before us, continue to, I mean, you guys have, even from the few videos that I've done, the 28 videos at this point that I've done, like, the monumental things that we've done, that ain't even cutting the surface, you know, and I just hope that for those who aren't as familiar with those things within our community, as well as with outside of our community, but this was for us, it was intended for us. I hope that you find the pride in yourself and you know who you are. And if you don't, from this video or these videos, I hope that it inspires you to do the work yourself and to discover these things. And I'm by no means preaching. I get it. You know what I mean? I understand. It's not a judgment. It's not any of that. And for those of you who have been doing the work, who have been, you know, who are on that same wave, like, I applaud you. I'm grateful for you. I'm proud to be of you. I'm proud to be of you. We're beautiful people. Just seeing the pride that so many Black Americans, you know, have expressed and have made a priority to acknowledge and to make present in every space, taking up space and saying, I'm a Black American and I'm proud. Because so much of the time, folks try and diminish who we are, to diminish our history, to dehumanize us and to make us feel like we're nothing, especially because we're descendants of American chattel slavery. But, you know, from my videos and from the history just in itself, the stuff that we've never discussed, it's quite obvious that that's not the truth. But, you know, yeah. Obviously, their problem with us was never our problem. I was trying to think of the quote. Cicely Tyson, she says, and I guess I'm paraphrasing at this point, folks who try and belittle you, what did she say? I can't even think of the quote, and I'm not even gonna jack up Miss Tyson's quote like that, but, you know, they're not happy with themselves. Like, you know, that speaks to their characters. So for any of those of you who, you know, are affected by that, you know, pay it dust at the end of the day. But with that being said, y'all, you know, I'm super happy that we were able to do this. I'm super happy I was able to share this with you guys. Maybe at some point I'll share some of my newer work with you guys. I feel, you know, I've grown through all of this. This has been, like I said, this was out of my comfort zone. This was something that I'm not a live person. I'm not about letting everybody in my business. I'm not about any of all of that. But it's been fun, and I've enjoyed, you know, sharing this space with you guys. And until next time, I guess. Yeah, until next time, guys. I appreciate you, and I will be talking to you soon. Peace.